This rich young master is a person with excessive cleanliness. He cannot even accept a speck of dust on his shoes. The reason Kang Woo has this strange disease stems from his unhappy childhood. Because Kang Woo was too fat in high school, he was often ridiculed by his classmates. With great difficulty, he mustered up the courage to confess to the goddess in the class, So-yeon, but he was flatly rejected. Moreover, she publicly humiliated him for being fat and ugly. He smiled smugly. So he went home and locked himself in his room and refused to eat or drink anything. That very night, Kang Woo received a text message from So-yeon saying that she would come to his house to play, but he waited all day and night, but the goddess still did not come. Only then did he realize that he had been tricked. To relieve his anger, Kang Woo started eating uncontrollably. He ate everything edible in the refrigerator. The next day was the school trip. Kang Woo started having a stomachache because he ate too much. Unable to hold it in, he urinated in front of his classmates that day. Because of that, Kang Woo was nicknamed the Rotten Egg. From that day on, his strange illness became uncontrollable. Kang Woo no longer had the dignity to continue studying at school, so he transferred to another school. Although Kang Woo is now an adult and handsome, the trauma from the past caused by So-yeon made it impossible for Kang Woo to overcome his psychological trauma. That day, So-yeon only went out to buy vegetables, but when she returned, she was blocked by 3 women. Do you think So-yeon stole someone else's boyfriend? So-yeon has 3 handsome brothers in her family. Although So-yeon has an average appearance, she has 3 brothers with stunning appearances. Do you think she is a happy person? Actually, this was just the beginning of the nightmare. Just because of these 3 handsome brothers, every day there were women lining up in front of their house just to give gifts to So-yeon's brothers. Since she was little, So-yeon had always been dominated by the maturity of her 3 brothers. If it wasn't the girls asking So-yeon to deliver gifts, it was the girls who were rejected by her brothers, and then they found an excuse to come and make trouble for her. Even the male god that So-yeon liked deliberately approached her because he liked So-yeon's eldest brother. So-yeon grew up in such a pressurized environment that she had a disease that made her hate beauty. She felt that handsome men were all bad people. No one was trustworthy. Only ugly men were true love. Therefore, So-yeon's criteria for finding a boyfriend was simply to find the most ordinary person. And that day, So-yeon just went out to buy vegetables, not knowing which brother was out there sowing love for someone else's daughter. So-yeon was blocked by 3 women who mistook her for their love rival. So-yeon was too familiar with the situation, so she didn't want to explain much. But these women had no good intentions. They couldn't let So-yeon off easily. The 3 of them didn't say much, but immediately stepped forward and started pulling So-yeon's hair. So-yeon hurriedly explained that she was the younger sister of the people they liked, but they didn't believe her at all. So-yeon still wanted to try to resist until the end, but she couldn't beat the 3 of them. In the end, she was still pinned to the ground and beaten by the 3 women. By the time So-yeon returned home, the vegetables she bought were all smashed. Her whole body was also tortured like a beggar. Her good mood all morning was messed up by the 3 brothers. So-yeon screamed and called all 3 of her brothers together. Then she sat down and questioned them about who did this, but all 3 of them remained silent and covered for each other. Seeing this, So-yeon angrily picked up her phone. She wanted to take some bad pictures of her 3 brothers to post online to see if anyone would like them anymore. But no matter how So-yeon took the pictures, they were still more beautiful in person. So-yeon angrily prepared to teach her 3 brothers a lesson. The eldest and second brothers saw this and ran away. The youngest brother was pushed down on the sofa and beaten by So-yeon. After teaching younger brother, So-yeon kicked him straight, causing her 2 brothers to lie painfully on the ground. Thanks to competing with her brothers every day, So-yeon's physical condition was very good. This also helped her become a physical education teacher. But among the brothers, the most unlucky one was So-jun. Every time his brothers caused trouble, he was always the one who got beaten. Moreover, he studied at the school where So-yeon worked, so every time So-jun wanted to act cool, So-yeon would catch him. That day, he was dancing in class as usual. A small group of female fans surrounded him and shouted, but just as he was about to take off his shirt, he saw So-yeon staring at him from afar. He was so scared that he fell off the table. So-yeon also didn't spare anyone's face and went through the crowd, grabbed her younger brother's ear and dragged him away. This caused dissatisfaction from the female classmates who were watching around. It took a long time to disperse the group of students, but So-yeon discovered that Mi-kyung was secretly taking pictures in the crowd. Unexpectedly, Mi-kyung was a teacher and was also here to join in with the students. Mi-kyung found the situation a bit awkward, so she quickly found a way to leave. So-yeon dragged her younger brother to the practice field and began to physically punish him. At this moment, So-yeon's boyfriend, who had been missing for 2 months, called. So-yeon immediately changed her tone and answered her boyfriend. The man asked her to go to a restaurant. Looking at the intimate photos of the 2 of them, So-yeon was very satisfied with the boyfriend boyfriend she had found. But when she raised her head, she saw a handsome guy staring at her. Moreover, he said that he was her boyfriend. So-yeon felt extremely confused. The man sat down and said that it turned out that he had been missing for the past 2 months to get plastic surgery. He felt that his parents' gen was not very good, so he spent 20 million won on plastic surgery. Looking at the handsome guy sitting in front of her, So-yeon found it a bit difficult to accept. She wondered if this was still her boyfriend. Although So-yeon hated handsome men a bit, this was the boyfriend she had chosen, so she would definitely not be mistaken. Who would have thought that the next second her boyfriend would break up with her because he felt that she was no longer worthy of him. He had spent 20 million won on plastic surgery, so he had to find a rich woman. So-yeon went to her brother's bar to drown her sorrows. She vowed never to find a handsome boyfriend again. Then, in her drunken stupor, So-yeon wanted to find her charm from the men around her. She frantically glanced and pursed her lips at the man on the left. The disgusting sight scared the man away immediately. Although So-yeon was a little embarrassed, she was still not convinced, so she targeted the man on the right. This scene of closing her eyes and frowning made people think that she had a facial spasm. With the same move, the remaining people did not even bother to look at So-yeon. They immediately turned around and ran away from the scene. So-yeon was a little unconvinced. She scolded that men nowadays are all blind. She was so beautiful and lovely, but hated. As a result, a sentence from her brother made So-yeon feel extremely helpless. It turned out that the bar her brother opened was a gay bar. So-yeon bowed her head in shame. Then, drunk, So-yeon was taken by her brother to a taxi, but halfway there, she couldn't help but get out of the car and vomit. At this moment, an unlucky person came to So-yeon's side. Unexpectedly, that person was the person she had humiliated when she was young. Kang-woo was taking a selfie here, but So-yeon carried a bucket of water and a broom and started cleaning up her vomit, but she accidentally swept his feet. When he lowered his head and saw that his shoes were soaked in dirty water, he was immediately startled and panicked. Kang-woo turned his head and saw that the big broom was about to fly into his face, so he was so scared that he collapsed to the ground. As for So-yeon, who was drunk, she had no idea what he was yelling about. Before So-yeon could understand the situation, Kang-woo took off his shoes and ran away crying in fear as if he was running home to find his mother. So-yeon stood there, stunned, looking at Kang-woo's strange expression, but she felt that he was very familiar. The next day, when So-yeon was teaching the students, she discovered that Hee-choo had not yet come to class. So So-yeon went to find the homeroom teacher to ask about the situation, but the homeroom teacher completely ignored So-yeon. He even scolded So-yeon. So-yeon could only vent her anger into the air, but she accidentally knocked over the principal's orchid pot. Luckily, So-yeon was quick to catch it, but the only orchid on it was unfortunately broken. This scene was just seen by Min-hyuk, who was passing by. Not long after, the principal hugged his orchid pot and rushed into the office to question who did it. So-yeon knew that she had caused a big problem, so she was about to take the initiative to admit her mistake. But before So-yeon could say anything, Min-hyuk, who was beside her, quickly pointed the blame at her. So-yeon could only use laughter to hide her embarrassment. Just like that, So-yeon was scolded by the principal again. At this time, So-yeon felt extremely angry. Handsome men are indeed not good things. At this time, Mi-kyung went to So-yeon to ask her about it. It turned out that Mi-kyung wanted So-yeon to attend the middle school reunion on the weekend. As for the opportunity, she only needed to pay a 10,000 won membership fee to be able to eat and drink freely. Of course, So-yeon did not want to miss it. Mi-kyung's best friend also thought the same. At this time, Kang-woo was working out at the gym, and he also received an invitation from his best friend. But Kang-woo was not interested in gathering and eating with his middle school friends. His only purpose in returning home this time was to find the girl whose face he kept drawing on paper but could not remember. In the evening, Kang-woo was taken by his parents to a family party. Kang-woo was the son of a wealthy family. Moreover, there was also a medical teacher at the school where So-yeon was teaching, Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk was also Kang-woo's cousin. However, these two people did not care about the family's career. One ran away abroad and the other became a medical teacher. This situation also gave their grandmother a headache. She was determined to find a way to keep her grandson in the country. After the party, Min-hyuk and Kang-woo sat down to talk privately. From the conversation, it could be seen that Kang-woo had a serious cleanliness problem. Min-hyuk also had a bad habit of never lying to anyone. This was also the reason why he publicly exposed So-yeon, because he had seen her ruin the homeroom teacher's flowers with his own eyes. The next day, Hyun-soo took the initiative to find Kang-woo and personally invited Kang-woo to attend the class reunion, but Kang-woo immediately refused. This made Hyun-soo a little dissatisfied, so Hyun-soo secretly called Kang-woo's middle school nickname Rotten Egg. When he heard this word, Kang-woo immediately felt that something was wrong with his stomach, so he immediately held his stomach and butt and ran to the bathroom to relieve himself. This was a strange disease that Kang-woo could not overcome, just being stressed or hearing words words related to the nickname rotten egg would cause him to have diarrhea uncontrollably. The next day, Kang-woo went to see a psychologist. The doctor listened to Kang-woo's story and expressed his sympathy. Kang-woo told the doctor that he often thought about a girl, but no matter how he thought, he could not remember her face. So until now, he had never been in love. After understanding the situation, the psychologist told Kang-woo that if he wanted to overcome this psychological trauma, he needed to face the source of those problems directly. Listening to the doctor, Kang-woo decided to attend the class reunion. Kang-woo's purpose was to face the friends who had mocked him. After many years of trying and going to the gym, Kang-woo had become an extremely handsome guy. When Kang-woo appeared at the barbecue restaurant where everyone gathered, everyone's eyes were immediately focused on him. Even those who had mocked Kang-woo surrounded him and started talking to him. This satisfied Kang-woo's pride. At this time, a girl in the corner of the room completely ignored him. She kept interrupting him to order food from the waiter. This made Kang-woo very uncomfortable, so he stood up and walked up to her and asked who she was. But when he saw her face clearly, he remembered that the woman he had been unable to picture was So-yeon in front of him. So-yeon was also the goddess who had rejected Kang-woo in the past. Kang-woo thought that his change over the years must have been enough to attract So-yeon, but Kang-woo did not expect that So-yeon was naturally allergic to handsome men. She completely ignored his advances. This feeling of being humiliated again hurt his self-esteem once again. The tension caused him to have a chemical reaction. Kang-woo tried to control himself and then moved step by step towards the restroom. Kang-woo found that the restroom was too dirty. He really could not accept it, so he ran out and started his journey to find a restroom on the road. He had a hard time finding a restroom, but Kang-woo lost control right outside the door. Kang-woo stood there to relieve himself. In the end, it was still Han-soo who drove to pick Kang-woo up. Kang-woo sat in the passenger seat with his lower body naked. He just looked out the window, leaving a tear of despair. After experiencing this extreme humiliation, Kang-woo couldn't sleep. In the middle of the night, Kang-woo brought So-yeon's portrait to see a psychologist. Kang-woo felt that he had a strange illness, and all the causes were because of So-yeon. Just seeing So-yeon would make Kang-woo tense. His body would also react unconsciously. The psychologist told Kang-woo that only if he defeated this girl could he overcome his illness, so Kang-woo decided to take the initiative. He must make the girl who made him like this pay. The next day, at So-yeon's brother's auto shop, a girl in torn clothes and flip-flops walked in. She was carrying a large bag on her body. She looked very sloppy. So-yeon's brother couldn't stand it at first sight, so he immediately ordered the sales staff to quickly chase her out so that she wouldn't bother other customers. The girl staggered to a luxury car. As soon as she touched the luxury car, the sales staff showed disgust and wiped it repeatedly. When she opened the car door to test drive it, the sales staff stopped her and said that she had to make an appointment before entering. The staff also told her to make an appointment next time. Before the girl could react, they pushed her out. Neither the partner nor the sales staff would have expected such a sloppy-looking girl would be the daughter of a wealthy family. Since she was chased out, she could only look up at the sky in frustration. She didn't know where to go, so she could only go to the park to sit. She opened her backpack and looked at the cash inside, then sighed. She lamented that this world now where one cannot even spend money is really boring. She sat in the park and ordered more than 10 fried chicken dishes just because she wanted to taste all the flavors. Seeing the delivery man staring at her, she was kind enough to give the fried chicken to Hee-chu to eat. As for Hee-chu, seeing her sloppy appearance, Hee-chu was afraid that she would not have enough money to pay. Then, she opened her purse. From the pile of cash inside, she casually took out 2 bills and gave them to Hee-chu. This made Hee-chu a little incredulous. Hee-chu even stuck his head out to confirm if he was seeing things. At this moment, So-yeon suddenly rushed out and grabbed Hee-chu. It turned out that Hee-chu was So-yeon's student. Because Hee-chu always skipped school without reason, So-yeon came specifically to take her back. Just when So-yeon was teaching Hee-chu, the other girl did not know what was going on, so she took her helmet and hit So-yeon straight on the head. She thought So-yeon was a human trafficker. After So-yeon fell down, she heard the delivery man next to her calling So-yeon a teacher. Only then did the girl realize that she had misunderstood. Fortunately, So-yeon's physical condition was quite good, so she quickly woke up. The other girl also apologized to So-yeon. After investigating So-yeon, she learned that the reason Hee-chu dropped out of school to work part-time was because she was homeless, so she had to earn money to support herself. After learning about Hee-chu's situation, So-yeon did not hesitate to take Hee-chu to her house. So-yeon also said that Hee-chu was her student, so she would take responsibility to the end. Meanwhile, Kang-woo on the other side was also planning to take revenge on So-yeon. First, Kang-woo asked Hyun-soo to ask So-yeon out under the guise of a classmate. Kang-woo thought that with his handsome appearance and extraordinary charisma, he would definitely be able to make So-yeon fall in love with him completely. So at the dinner table, Kang-woo pretended to deeply confess his love to So-yeon. So-yeon. He said that ever since his failed confession in middle school, he had never forgotten her because Kang-woo had secretly loved her for 15 years, and because of her, he was determined to lose weight and become like this. The purpose of doing so was so that he could be worthy of her. He thought he had a sure win. He could definitely conquer So-yeon. But So-yeon was someone who was completely allergic to handsome men. In her eyes, his deep confession was nothing more than him going crazy. She thought that no one would confess to someone after 15 years of separation. So-yeon did not hesitate to respond to Kang-woo. So-yeon also said that in her eyes, Kang-woo was still the rotten egg from middle school. Hearing this word, Kang-woo once again reacted. He carefully moved step by step towards the toilet. When he came out of the toilet, he was extremely angry. He also did not know where he had offended her. If it were an ordinary woman, with his face and temperament, he would easily have won. At this time, Hun-soo gave Kang-woo an idea. Hun-soo guessed that the reason Kang-woo could not conquer So-yeon was because he had not shown his family's financial resources. Perhaps So-yeon did not care about appearance, so the best way was to use money to seduce So-yeon. So early the next morning, Kang-woo went to a Ford store and prepared to buy a luxury car to attract So-yeon's attention. The store Kang-woo went to was the store run by So-yeon's eldest brother. Coincidentally, So-yeon ran to her eldest brother to ask for money for living expenses. The intimate actions of the two made Kang-woo misunderstand that they were lovers, so he angrily turned around and left. Kang-woo was very upset because So-yeon now had a boyfriend. While Kang-woo and Hyun-soo were thinking of a new solution, Hyun-soo received a call from the company. It turned out that an artist under Hyun-soo had caused trouble at a bar, so he had to drag Kang-woo, who was in the car, to the bar. As a result, the bar they went to was the bar opened by So-yeon's second brother. Kang-woo accidentally saw So-yeon asking for money from her second brother. The intimate actions of the two made Kang-woo think that So-yeon was not proper. Moreover, they were two handsome guys. While Kang-woo was stunned, Hyun-soo walked over. Seeing Kang-woo's silly expression, Hyun-soo thought he wanted to go to the bathroom, so Hyun-soo leaned close to Kang-woo's ear and told him to hold it in. So-yeon saw this scene downstairs. The intimate actions of the two people, plus this being a gay bar, made So-yeon misunderstand their relationship, and when he got home at night, Kang-woo was completely confused. All he could think about was So-yeon. Why could So-yeon have so many boyfriends but still ignore him? Could it be that in So-yeon's eyes, he was really just a fat boy who only knew how to wet his bed? That night, when So-yeon and her best friend were jogging, they met the girl who had hit So-yeon with a helmet. During the day in the park, So-yeon thought that the other girl was homeless, so So-yeon woke her up and asked if she needed help. This was the first time the girl had met such a kind person since leaving home, so she immediately gave her bag to So-yeon. But So-yeon thought this girl had a mental problem, so she took off her best friend's mask and used lipstick to write her contact number on it. So-yeon told the girl that if you had any problems, you could call me. So-yeon then took her best friend and left, and the girl looked at the phone number and was very excited. The next day, Kang-woo regained his spirits. He went to school to find his cousin Min-hyuk to ask for help, but he accidentally saw So-yeon teaching students in the yard. This immediately gave him a bold idea. This school was originally invested in by his family's company. If he became the chairman of the board of directors here, he could control So-yeon at will. So the next day, he became the chairman of the board of directors of this school. The principal took him to the office and solemnly introduced him to all the teachers as the newly appointed chairman of the board of directors. Kang-woo thought that this time he could also start his revenge plan, but So-yeon only needed to show a threatening gesture for his stomach to start reacting again. Kang-woo tried to control this feeling. When he thought about the previous time when he faced such a strong enemy, he practiced in front of the mirror. Kang-woo tried to tell himself not to be nervous. Then he took the diarrhea medicine that the doctor had prepared for him. Kang-woo wanted to temporarily control the situation, but because Kang-woo was too nervous, he dropped the diarrhea medicine into the flower pot next to him. Moreover, the pill looked exactly like the pebbles in it, so Kang-woo was completely desperate. He could only use laughter to hide his embarrassment. Then he could only hug the flower pot and leave the classroom step by step. Everyone saw his strange behavior and did not understand what was going on. After finishing, Kang-woo returned to his office. It took him a long time to find his diarrhea medicine in the flower pot, but while he was taking it, the principal walked in and saw him. Seeing the new chairman of the board eating pebbles, the principal thought Kang-woo was seriously ill. Just as he was about to step forward to stop him, a teacher pulled him out of the room. The teacher said that if the chairman of the board of directors liked to eat, then let him eat. After all, he was the boss of the school. That afternoon, to welcome the new chairman, all the teachers gathered at the barbecue restaurant to eat. What was unexpected was that Kang-woo was not only overly clean, but also had obsessive-compulsive disorder. Seeing a piece of fatty pork belly, he used scissors to cut off all the fat. He also spread the knowledge that the fat on grilled meat is all fact, eating it is not good for your health. This made everyone immediately lose the spirit of eating grilled meat. So-yeon also endured it time and time again. She thought that since the chairman invited her, she would just eat it for now. But when So-yeon had just taken her first bite, Kang-woo started to cause trouble. He thought the smell of the grilled meat was too strong, so he led everyone away from the grilled meat restaurant to a high-class Western restaurant. Everyone was very happy to see this high-class environment, but Kang-woo ordered a plate full of vegetable dishes. For a meat lover like So-yeon, this was completely unacceptable, so she exploded right at the dining table. So-yeon had a big argument with Kang-woo, but after calming down for a while, she realized that she had been too impulsive. After all, Kang-woo was her boss now, so he needed to save some face. So under the advice of her best friend, So-yeon took the initiative to find Kang-woo to apologize. So-yeon expressed that the two of them didn't need to be so tense in the future. It would be great if they could get along with each other. Kang-woo accepted So-yeon's apology. He also had no intention of making things difficult for her anymore. She thought this would be the end of the matter. But that day, Kang-woo accidentally injured his finger, so he accidentally scratched his head and touched the wound. This caused him to raise his middle finger. This scene was also seen by So-yeon at the right time. In So-yeon's eyes, this action was clearly meant to provoke her. So-yeon angrily rushed forward and pushed Kang-woo against the wall. Kang-woo's heart beat wildly because of So-yeon's action. In a panic, he just ran away from the scene. At this time, because the big boss had left the scene, the principal had no choice but to pay. He thought that just eating a few vegetarian dishes wouldn't cost much. But after seeing the bill, he was extremely surprised. They had eaten a table full of vegetarian dishes and had spent 3 months of his salary. Finally, when he swiped his credit card, he was ridiculed by his subordinates for not having enough balance. At this time, Kang-woo, whose heart was racing just now, once again went to see a psychologist. Kang-woo asked the psychiatrist what this excitement was. After listening, the psychiatrist told Kang-woo that it was obvious that he had a crush on the other person. Kang-woo immediately denied it. He thought that he couldn't possibly like that kind of crazy woman. He thought about it all night, but Kang-woo didn't understand why his heart was beating so fast. The doctor was about to be exhausted by Kang-woo, so the doctor went along with Kang-woo's wishes. He said that perhaps the excitement was due to arrhythmia and stress. Kang-woo got the answer he wanted and was satisfied when he left the hospital. But the next day, on the way to school, Kang-woo accidentally met So-yeon. The moment he saw So-yeon, Kang-woo's heart started beating wildly again. Kang-woo's eyes even unconsciously stopped on her. This made him very uncomfortable. In order to prevent this illness, Kang-woo decided not to go to school to work anymore and quickly drove past So-yeon. Recently, the sports department wanted to organize an athletics project, so So-yeon really needed Kang-woo's signature. Because the president approved it, they could invest money, but So-yeon looked for Kang-woo for several days, but she found that he hadn't come to school for several days, so she had to take the initiative to call him to find him to sign first. Kang-woo thought that So-yeon was plotting something against him, so he followed her wishes. Kang-woo expressed that if So-yeon wanted to find his signature, she should come to his house. He thought she would definitely not agree, but surprisingly, she was very cheerful and agreed. This made him lose his composure. So-yeon listened to Mi Kyung's arrangement. She even took the initiative to bring a barrel of wine to get Kang-woo drunk and quickly make him sign. But when the two of them arrived at Kang-woo's house, they just happened to meet Hyun-soo coming to find him. So-yeon always misunderstood the relationship between the two. So-yeon was afraid that Hyun-soo being there would affect Kang-woo's work, so So-yeon told Mi Kyung to distract Hyun-soo first while she knocked on Kang-woo's door alone. When Kang-woo saw So-yeon bringing a barrel of wine to his house, he immediately felt that she had bad intentions. He suspected that she had some kind of plot against him, so he decided to carefully review the application. He used time to make her give up, but So-yeon was in no hurry. She sat down and told him to take a closer look. Then, because she was so bored, So-yeon picked up a bottle of wine, but when she opened the wine, she accidentally spilled it all over herself. In the eyes of normal people, it was a very normal action, but in Kang-woo's eyes, it was completely seductive. Seeing her like that, his whole body was shocked, and when So-yeon saw him widen his eyes, she thought that there was something he didn't understand. So So-yeon immediately approached Kang-woo. She decided to explain to him in detail. This close contact made him, who had never been in love, finally unable to sit still. He stood up and prepared to chase her out, but So-yeon still hadn't gotten his signature, so she absolutely wouldn't give up. Just like that, one person walked ahead and the other followed closely behind. So-yeon kept talking to Kang-woo. She thought the reason he didn't sign was because she had rejected him when they were young. So now he took the opportunity to get revenge on her. As a result, as soon as Kang-woo turned around, So-yeon immediately immediately fell into his arms. The physical contact between the two made Kang-woo's heart beat faster. His whole body lost all composure. Unexpectedly, his body reacted at that moment. This made So-yeon fearfully take a step back. In front of So-yeon, Kang-woo really had no dignity or respect left. Because he was so embarrassed, he carried her on his shoulder and turned around to throw her out the door. At this moment, his cousin also arrived. The first thing Kang-woo did after closing the door was to put his head in the refrigerator to calm down. But he was still so embarrassed that he hid in his sweater. Even when he slept, he felt so embarrassed that he couldn't sleep. Kang-woo probably didn't want to see So-yeon again in this life. When So-yeon got home, she was full of doubts, clearly saw Kang-woo and Hyun-soo being intimate, so she always thought Kang-woo was gay. As a result, after coming into contact with her, he reacted, so she asked her second brother with doubts. He said that under a certain stimulation, even without feelings, there could be a reaction. So-yeon nodded, but she didn't seem to understand very well. At the same time, Kang-woo, who was lying on the bed, had a hallucination. Kang-woo seemed to see So-yeon lying on his bed, her hand gently caressed, which made him jump out of bed in fear. In order to stop having these illusions, Kang-woo tried to bury himself in work. He wanted to stop thinking about random things, but Kang-woo unconsciously drew a portrait of So-yeon. This made Kang-woo suspect that he was crazy. Later, Kang-woo was called out to dinner by his grandmother and mother. When he arrived, he found out that this was an arranged blind date. But this time, Kang-woo did not refuse because he thought that he had not been in contact with a woman for a long time, so he had that feeling for So-yeon. But looking at the girl elegantly eating, Kang-woo unconsciously remembered So-yeon, the image of her eating comfortably without any hesitation. Thinking of this, the corners of his mouth unconsciously curved up. Kang-woo seemed to also realize that he had truly fallen in love with So-yeon, but the more he thought about how embarrassed he was in front of the person he liked, the sadder he became. At this time, So-yeon happened to have something to do at the restaurant, so she happened to see Kang-woo on a blind date with another woman. But seeing his disappointed expression, not caring about the woman beside him, So-yeon roughly guessed that he was forced by his family to go on a blind date. This made her even more certain that Kang-woo really loved Hyun-soo. Suddenly facing such a beautiful girl, how could he not be moved? This began to make So-yeon feel a little sympathetic towards Kang-woo and Hyun-soo. She sighed that it was not easy for the two of them to be together. That evening at the bar, So-yeon once again saw the two of them being intimate. This made So-yeon even more certain that her thoughts were correct. As for Kang-woo, since he had confirmed that he liked So-yeon, the next day when he went to school, he bought a large bouquet of roses, preparing to confess to So-yeon. But the closer he got to her, the more scared he felt. He recalled that she had been very close to the manager of the For's store before, and was also close to the owner of the bar. In addition, he had been rejected outright when he confessed his love before. The trauma from his childhood also made Kang-woo gradually develop an inferiority complex. He was afraid that his self-esteem would be hurt again. After So-yeon turned to look at Kang-woo, he threw the bouquet of roses in his hand out the window. Then he quickly turned and left. So-yeon and Mi-kyum were both stunned by his strange actions. When Kang-woo returned home that evening, he thought carefully. He had to come up with a perfect confession plan before pursuing So-yeon. Otherwise, he would most likely be rejected. Hyun-soo, who was by his side, gave Kang-woo some advice. Hyun-soo said that women all liked romantic scenes in movies. As long as he took over the entire amusement park or created a romantic atmosphere, many women would be moved by it. The next day at the training ground, Kang-woo was still wondering whether he should confess to So-yeon or not. At this time, So-yeon ran over and saw his troubled expression. She thought that he was having trouble with his relationship with Hyun-soo. She encouraged him that after setting a goal, he just needed to try. The meaning of this was to imply that Kang-woo had to be steadfast in his love. Kang-woo understood So-yeon's words. This further strengthened his feelings for her, so he boldly took the first step, which was to ask So-yeon to meet him in the evening. Kang-woo followed Hyun-soo's advice, which was to indulge his daughter's interests and rent out the entire sportswear store. He said that this was a gift he prepared for everyone in the track team, and then he confessed to So-yeon. Kang-woo said that he didn't need other women before, but now, if he could be with her, he would truly find his true self. Hearing the phrase, "I don't need other women," and the phrase, "I'll be with you," So-yeon seemed to immediately understand something. So-yeon thought Kang-woo wanted to use her as a shield to avoid his family arranging another blind date for him. That way, he could be with Hyun-soo forever. So-yeon tentatively asked Kang-woo if they were together. Hyun-soo wouldn't be angry. This question also confused Kang-woo. He didn't understand what she was saying at all. After thinking for a bit, he thought she had other intentions towards Hyun-soo. The two couldn't speak clearly to each other, so the misunderstanding between the two deepened. Kang-woo failed to confess again. So, when he got home, Kang-woo beat Hyun-soo up. Hearing Kang-woo say So-yeon liked Hyun-soo made Hyun-soo confused, because this person had always thought he was gay. But why did she like him now? But then So-yeon thought about it again. So-yeon and still knocked on Kang Woo's door in the middle of the night. So-yeon said that she agreed to his confession because she thought that the two of them being together was just an act. She was still willing to help. At this moment, Kang Woo completely did not understand So-yeon's train of thought. He hugged her emotionally. He thought that after pursuing her for so many years, he had finally succeeded. He was so moved that he wanted to give her his first kiss. Seeing his face constantly getting closer, she was scared and kept stepping back. She thought that even though it was an act, he wanted to act like this for real. So she angrily pinched his face and told him not to go too far. Kang Woo also realized that he seemed too abrupt, so he immediately apologized to So-yeon and decided to drive her home. When they arrived at So-yeon's house, Kang Woo's childhood memories flooded back to his mind. He remembered when he was a child, he came to give her snacks. He had seen her father. At that time, he was so scared that he ran and fell. So-yeon's father gently approached him to care for him and taught him how to tie his shoelaces, and from then on, his shoelaces never came untied. When he told So-yeon about this, she also said that her father had taught her how to tie her shoelaces since she was little. Both of them unconsciously stretched out one leg. Kang Woo asked So-yeon if her father also lived here. He really wanted to visit her father, but when Kang Woo mentioned her father, So-yeon showed a sad expression. At this moment, So-yeon's second brother drove home. Kang Woo saw that this was the man who had been very intimate with So-yeon at the bar and was now pursuing her here. So he stood between the two of them as So-yeon's boyfriend. Then Kang Woo declared his sovereignty in an unfriendly manner to So-yeon's second brother. This made So-yeon's second brother furious, so the two argued at the door. So-yeon's eldest brother heard the noise and also walked out. Kang Woo saw that it was the man from the fourth store, so he immediately asked So-yeon what this kid was doing. Hearing Kang Woo's words, So-yeon's eldest brother was also not happy. The three immediately started a heated argument. So-yeon was by his side, constantly advising and explaining, but it was of no use. This caused another big misunderstanding. When Kang Woo realized that the three of them were actually siblings, he immediately regretted his previous behavior. Kang Woo immediately lost his arrogant demeanor. Later, when So-yeon's eldest brother asked what their relationship was, So-yeon said that the two were middle school classmates, but Kang Woo held So-yeon's hand and said that the two were in love. But So-yeon's two brothers did not believe him because they knew that their sister did not like handsome men. So-yeon didn't want to continue this awkward conversation, so she found an excuse and hurriedly sent Kang Woo out the door. When he found out that the two handsome guys were his girlfriend's brothers, Kang Woo was even happier. He jumped up and sat down on the sofa, but was startled by Han-soo, who was silently beside him. Seeing Kang Woo so happy and pleased, Han-soo knew that he truly liked So-yeon, but Han-soo didn't understand what was so adorable about So-yeon and why, despite having so many women, he ended up choosing So-yeon. But Kang Woo didn't hesitate to say that it was because So-yeon was beautiful. This once made Han-soo think that Kang Woo had a problem with his eyes. What was even more frightening was that Han-soo felt that So-yeon had a problem with her mind. She couldn't say that she liked Kang Woo, so Han-soo strongly opposed Kang Woo pursuing So-yeon. But later, Kang Woo found out that the two were together. The next day, Kang Woo was waiting downstairs for So-yeon early in the morning to pick her up for a date. So-yeon was also very cooperative. The moment she saw him, she immediately threw herself into his arms and acted very well. She hugged him and took a few pictures with her phone. Just as Kang Woo was enjoying himself and was about to hug So-yeon tightly, she suddenly let go and got into the car. It turned out that everything she did was just pretend, but at this moment, Kang Woo was completely crazy with love. He thought he had successfully conquered So-yeon, so he was so happy and excited that his face turned red. After that, on the first day of their date, the two of them took pictures wherever they went. In the eyes of outsiders, they looked like a really sweet couple. Kang Woo was also in a particularly good mood because of So-yeon's initiative. First, when he returned to work at school, that he became more gentle and friendly with the principal and the homeroom teacher. To make up for his behavior of not paying last time, he even took the initiative to invite the two of them to eat. But at this time, the principal was a bit hesitant because he thought that this time he would have to pay for the meal himself. But this good mood did not last long. Not long after, So-yeon learned from her second brother that Kang Woo and Han-soo were not in that kind of homosexual relationship. Hearing this news, So-yeon immediately felt that she was deceived, so she immediately went to Kang Woo's rooftop. Before Han-soo could react, So-yeon kicked him away. Then she used a leg clamp to control him. Under So-yeon's strength, Han-soo finally admitted that he had previously made up stories to trick So-yeon. After teaching Han-soo a lesson, So-yeon, who was very angry, changed his target to Kang Woo. When So-yeon left, Han-soo immediately wanted to use his phone to tell Kang Woo to run away, but he discovered that his arms seemed to be unable to move anymore. He couldn't even pick up the phone that fell on the ground. So-yeon angrily found Kang Woo and asked him why he did such a thing. He was really as childish as 15 years ago. 15 years ago, a group of boys gathered together. They bet that if anyone successfully confessed to So-yeon, they would each get a few million. So-yeon heard this scene. Later, So-yeon received a confession from Kang-woo. She thought that all of this was just a joke. What was even more infuriating was that So-yeon considered Kang-woo her best friend, but he teamed up to tease her. That's why she rejected him and scolded him. Knowing the truth that he was rejected that year because of this, his mood at that time was not surprise but disappointment. It turned out that Kang-woo had such an image in So-yeon's heart that year. Actually, he didn't participate in that bet that year. That brave confession to So-yeon was only because she was different from other girls. She wouldn't make fun of him for being fat, nor would she avoid him like other girls, but would truly consider him a friend. That's why he developed feelings for her, and that confession was also completely sincere. At the same time, when Hin-soo came down from the rooftop and dragged his injured arm back to his room, he felt a murderous aura behind him. He turned around and saw Kang-woo staring at him with an angry expression. Hun-soo was so scared that he ran straight to his office. After locking the door, he could only hide behind the door in fear. But at this moment, Kang-woo's anger was unstoppable. Kang-woo grabbed Hyun-soo's collar. Kang-woo didn't expect that he considered Hyun-soo as a good brother, but Hyun-soo went out and made up stories about their relationship, and now he lost his girlfriend. In response to Kang-woo's anger, Hyun-soo said that even if Kang-woo beat him up, it would be difficult to ease the hatred in Kang-woo's heart. But why did So-yeon suddenly misunderstand Kang-woo like that? Thinking of this, Kang-woo decided to stop this blind love. He must teach this woman a lesson. So the next day, Kang-woo used his authority to send So-yeon to work as his assistant. If So-yeon didn't listen to Kang-woo, he would immediately ask the school to fire her and hire a new gym teacher. Reluctantly, So-yeon had to agree. After that, Kang-woo ordered So-yeon to wash his car. He also deliberately pretended to talk to a psychologist in the restaurant so that So-yeon could sunbathe outside. At night, when the teachers from the company and school gathered to eat and drink, he deliberately did not let an alcoholic like So-yeon drink. He asked her to drive home later, but So-yeon could not. Just licking a little bit of wine that spilled on her hand at the party, she could not control herself, so she drank one glass after another until she was so drunk that she went to the side of the road to play with dirt. Although Kang-woo said he wanted to teach her a lesson, he still could not help but feel sorry for her. He wiped the mud off her hands. After a few days of Kang-woo taking revenge on So-yeon, she was a bit angry. While she was drunk, she scolded him terribly. After scolding, she leaned back and fell asleep. Luckily, Kang-woo caught her in time so she did not fall. Looking at So-yeon in his arms, Kang-woo really did not know what to do with her. At this moment, Min-hyuk suddenly rushed out and pulled So-yeon into his arms. Min-hyuk could not bear Kang-woo's tormenting of So-yeon like this anymore. Then, he carefully put her in the car. Kang-woo realized that Min-hyuk liked So-yeon, but he didn't want to hear, so he kept covering his ears. However, Min-hyuk insisted on telling him. The two big men argued in the middle of the street. When they finished arguing and looked back, So-yeon had already left by herself in the car. Because she was drunk the night before, she didn't remember anything the next day. So So-yeon took the initiative to look for Mi-kyung. In So-yeon's vague impression, she seemed to remember that she had hit Kang-woo. At this moment, Kang-woo took a taxi to school. When So-yeon saw him, she reacted and remembered that Kang-woo's car keys seemed to be on her. At this time, Kang-woo also walked straight towards So-yeon and gave her a bottle of hangover medicine. After that, he turned around and left without saying a word. But in So-yeon's eyes, she thought that Kang-woo wasn't that kind. She wondered if there was poison in the bottle of medicine. The three of them then went to the infirmary and surrounded the bottle of medicine for a long time. They all felt that Kang-woo must have some kind of plot, but after looking at the bottle for a long time, there was no sign of the medicine being unsealed. So-yeon had no choice but to grit her teeth and drink it. Recently, So-yeon had been constantly tormented by Kang-woo. Even the greedy principal and homeroom teacher deliberately made things difficult for her. They thought that what the chairman of the board of directors said was true. So-yeon was the most idle person in the school, so she had to do a lot of other things. So they deliberately sent So-yeon to do errands. After all, she was not liked by Chairman Kang. The homeroom teacher even teased her. He put on the appearance of a leader and showed an attitude like, "What can you do to us?" Although So-yeon was suffering in her heart, in order to keep her job, she could only listen to the arrangement and do the work that did not belong to her. After those people left, Kang-woo came down from the other side of the stairs. It seemed like he had heard their conversation. He looked at the principal and the homeroom teacher upstairs. A look like, "My woman is only mine to torment." Obviously, the principal and the homeroom teacher had messed with the wrong person. Then Kang-woo went straight to So-yeon and snatched the carton from her hand, angrily throwing it straight at the principal's desk. Then Kang-woo questioned the principal why these papers were only used on one side. A piece of paper was also money. Such a waste. Could it be that money that wasn't spent by the principal gave him the right to waste? embarrassed. Principal was scolded to the point of not daring to say anything. Then Kang-woo declared in front of everyone that from now on So-yeon had to be on duty 24 hours a day, and no one was allowed to tell her to do other things. But his act of covering up not only didn't receive her thanks, but on the contrary, it made her hate him even more. At night, So-yeon drove Kang-woo home. She saw a drunk man on the side of the road about to drive, so she immediately got out of the car and blocked the other car. The drunk man got out of the car and started arguing with her. When he couldn't argue anymore, he wanted to hit her. Luckily, Kang-woo came out in time to help her. Seeing Kang-woo standing tall and mighty in front of him, the drunk man didn't dare to continue arguing. At this moment, So-yeon looked at Kang-woo. She couldn't help but feel a little moved. After resolving this matter, Kang-woo was very angry because So-yeon did such dangerous things. This time, So-yeon didn't respond but quietly left with tears in her eyes. Seeing So-yeon's unusual actions, Kang-woo didn't know the situation. So he went to Mi-kyung. From Mi-kyung, Kang-woo learned that the traffic accident that killed So-yeon's parents that year was due to the driver driving while intoxicated. The night that incident happened was the day before their graduation trip. Only now did Kang-woo understand why So-yeon had made a date with him that night, but she broke it without any reason. It turned out that something big had happened to her family, but he mistakenly thought that she was teasing him on purpose. Knowing that he had misunderstood her, he took the initiative to find her and apologize. He took this opportunity to confess to her again, but she still rejected him. This made him very confused. He asked her if she really liked Minhye. Only then did she tell him that it was because she herself couldn't love a handsome man. Her life from childhood to adulthood had been tormented and implicated by people with such looks. Therefore, she had had enough handsome men who looked like Kang-woo. Hearing these words, Kang-woo was bewildered. The conclusion he came to after a night of thinking was that So-yeon's 3 brothers always tormented her. That's why she had this thought. So Kang-woo changed his target of revenge. He decided to help So-yeon get revenge. That is, to help her get revenge on her 3 brothers. The first thing Kang-woo did after returning to school was to call So-yeon's 4th brother to his office. First, Kang-woo questioned So-yeon's younger brother why he always tormented So-yeon. When So-yeon's younger brother heard this, he had no idea what Kang-woo was talking about. So-yeon's younger brother was already timid, but now he was threatened by Kang-woo, so So-yeon's younger brother shrank back. Then Kang-woo went to So-yeon's eldest brother's For's store again. Then Kang-woo used his status as a customer to make things difficult for So-yeon's eldest brother. Kang-woo said that he wanted to test drive the most expensive car there. Then Kang-woo took So-yeon's eldest brother out onto the street and started to step on the gas pedal. So-yeon's older brother also cannot understand what exactly he did wrong to Kang-woo. Kang-woo finally went to So-yeon's second brother's bar, but before Kang-woo could threaten him, So-yeon's second brother warned Kang-woo not to approach his sister anymore. Kang-woo looked disdainful and said that this matter didn't need his attention. So-yeon's second brother pulled out a knife, making Kang-woo extremely scared. Later, from So-yeon's second brother, Kang-woo learned that So-yeon hated handsome men not entirely because of them, but also for other reasons. At the same time, So-yeon received Kang-woo's confession for the 3rd time, and she felt something different from the previous times. This time, she started to feel moved again, but So-yeon always thought that Kang-woo probably wanted to tease her, so he used the confession as a joke. To verify her guess, she went to her best friend. So-yeon's best friend analyzed that the relationship between Hun-soo and Kang-woo before was intentionally fabricated by Hun-soo. Kang-woo was completely unaware of the situation. Adding to Kang-woo's recent concern for So-yeon at school, it could be judged that his feelings for her were real. Hearing these words, So-yeon couldn't calm down even more. Wherever she went, the image of Kang-woo confessing to her appeared in So-yeon's mind. In the following days, Kang-woo didn't appear at school. This made So-yeon feel a little uncomfortable. She was so upset that she went to her second brother's bar to drink. While she was drunk, So-yeon called Kang-woo. Then she said a few confusing words. Seeing this, So-yeon's second brother immediately snatched the phone from her hand. He was afraid that she would feel embarrassed when she woke up tomorrow. He even thoughtfully deleted the call log. Sure enough, the next day when So-yeon woke up, the first thing she did was to check her phone to see if she had done anything outrageous. After she confirmed that she had not made any random calls, she thought that everything that had happened yesterday was a dream. When So-yeon was hesitating whether to take the initiative to contact Kang-woo, he appeared in front of her house. Seeing that Kang-woo did not abandon her because of her rejection, So-yeon trotted over to drive. The two of them went to a street food stall to eat. Seeing Kang-woo eating so deliciously, So-yeon thought it was his first time experiencing life, but Kang-woo said that he had often eaten these dishes before. It was only after being rejected by her that he decided to lose weight and restrained himself. Hearing Kang-woo's words, So-yeon felt a little guilty. The day soon arrived for the sports sports team to prepare to participate in the track and field meet. So-yeon led the students to prepare to depart. At this time, Kang-woo drove over in time and got in the car as well, but because he had a phobia of buses, he started to get carsick while on the road. Luckily, So-yeon had meticulously massaged his acupressure points. Kang-woo was very happy at this moment. They soon arrived at their destination, but looking at the small and shabby student housing, Kang-woo couldn't stand it. So Kang-woo told the students to get on the bus, and he took them to a luxurious villa. Although So-yeon said he was exaggerating, his actions were very sincere. In a flash, she ran to the beach to play in the water. In no time, she had soaped herself. Seeing So-yeon like that, Kang-woo both pampered her and was afraid that she would catch a cold, so he meticulously put his coat on her. At this moment, Kang-woo couldn't contain his feelings. He held her so she couldn't turn around. Then, he lowered his head and leaned on her shoulder. He only wished she could stay by his side like that forever. So-yeon just stood there motionless, waiting until she went back to her room. The feelings in her heart couldn't settle, so she made a bold decision. She took the initiative to find Kang-woo and told him what was on her mind. Why she kept thinking about him, why she always cared about him, why he always suddenly appeared beside her, even when she didn't want to see him. After hearing So-yeon's words, Kang-woo said that if she didn't want to look, then don't look. Then he used his hand to cover her eyes. Finally, Kang-woo boldly kissed So-yeon on the lips. This time, So-yeon didn't refuse. When she returned to her room, So-yeon still seemed a little dazed. She covered her mouth and stood there blankly for a while, but very soon, everyone went out to eat together again. The two of them couldn't avoid seeing each other. At that moment, Kang-woo was in a very cheerful mood, but So-yeon felt extremely embarrassed. She even deliberately changed the subject when Kang-woo tried to talk. When they got to the restaurant, Kang-woo didn't behave himself either. Under the table, his foot kept touching So-yeon's. So-yeon acted like nothing was happening, but Kang-woo became even bolder. This made So-yeon feel nervous and uneasy all over, so she casually found an excuse and left the dining table. That night, when So-yeon returned to her room, she received a message from Kang-woo. This time, So-yeon was afraid Kang-woo would do something strange, so she put on a beauty mask. But this time, she really had overthought it. Kang-woo only came to bring her a pillow. The second day of the competition went very smoothly, and one of So-yeon's students even won first place. The whole group happily returned home. The first thing So-yeon did when she got home was find her best friend. So-yeon asked Mi-kyung what it felt like to kiss. Why didn't she feel anything at all? Mi-kyung thought it was because their technique was too bad, which was why So-yeon didn't feel anything. Mi-kyung advised So-yeon to be a little bolder. She told So-yeon to go find Kang-woo and try again. So that night, So-yeon went to Kang-woo's house and straightforwardly asked him if he wanted to try again. Before Kang-woo could even react, So-yeon kissed him on the lips. This action took Kang-woo by complete surprise. He didn't expect her to be so direct, but after the kiss, So-yeon still didn't seem to feel anything, so she asked to try again. This time, Kang-woo responded enthusiastically, and he boldly lifted So-yeon's face and kissed her, but So-yeon still didn't seem to feel anything. This made Kang-woo doubt himself greatly, and he started eating uncontrollably. He didn't care about his image anymore. Even when food fell on him, he didn't pay attention. For someone with a severe cleanliness obsession like him, this was a huge shock. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Min-yuk confessed his feelings to So-yeon, but So-yeon truly had no feelings for him at all. Instead, she couldn't stop thinking about Kang-woo. This made So-yeon gradually realize that she seemed to really like Kang-woo, so So-yeon took the initiative to find Kang-woo and invite him on a date. And so, they had a full day of dating. They not only rode a roller coaster together, but also took photos and watched a sweet movie together, like typical couples. At this moment, So-yeon also confirmed her own feelings. She decided to officially be with him. When he got home, Kang-woo was so excited that he placed their photo by his bedside and smiled as he fell asleep. But things weren't so good for So-yeon. That night, she had a nightmare in her sleep. So when Kang-woo's mother came to see So-yeon and asked her to break up with Kang-woo, she agreed without any hesitation. The reason So-yeon's attitude changed so drastically overnight was because the night before, she remembered the accident that took her parents' lives. The car accident that killed her parents happened that night because of her. That day, So-yeon insisted on going to find Kang-woo to apologize, so she dragged her parents along. But on the way, they encountered a drunk driver, which caused the accident. Her father shielded her with his body to save her. Thanks to that, she survived. So-yeon barely escaped from the car, but the next moment, her parents' car slid into the water. Unable to accept the truth, she lost her memory of that night. She felt it was all her fault. She believed she was a jinx. So-yeon didn't know how to face Kang-woo anymore. So when Kang-woo's mother made the request, So-yeon agreed without hesitation. This left Kang-woo's mother a bit confused. She hadn't even taken out the envelope she prepared, yet So-yeon had already agreed. She returned home with a sad expression. When the grandmother saw her face, Grandma thought things hadn't gone well. When she heard that So-yeon agreed without hesitation, she was very surprised. After that, So-yeon took the initiative to find find Kang Woo and suggested breaking up with him. But Kang Woo was in a passionate stage of love and couldn't agree, so he hugged her like he was acting cute, and this scene was seen by his mother. Kang Woo's mother pretended it was her first time meeting So-yeon and enthusiastically came over to greet her. However, Kang Woo was smart and immediately sensed something was wrong. That was when he realized why So-yeon suddenly wanted to break up with him. It turned out his mother had secretly interfered. His mother hurriedly denied it and said she never cared about So-yeon's family background. As long as they loved each other and were happy, that was enough. She didn't want to cause conflict between mother and son because of a woman. Hearing his mother say this, Kang Woo took the opportunity to ask if she would support him and So-yeon. His mother had no choice but to temporarily let it go, but afterward, Kang Woo's mother secretly met with So-yeon and told her not to break up with him so suddenly. However, So-yeon felt it was better to be decisive. This made Kang Woo's mother feel helpless. Kang Woo's mother asked So-yeon what Kang Woo was lacking, why she had to break up with him, but So-yeon said it wasn't Kang Woo's problem. It was because of the huge gap between their family backgrounds. So-yeon felt she wasn't worthy of Kang Woo. Hearing this, Kang Woo's mother didn't agree with So-yeon. It seemed she had forgotten her original purpose was to persuade them to break up. She said that whether their family backgrounds matched or not was something for the elders to consider. She felt the two of them were very compatible, so she agreed to let them keep dating. Before So-yeon could respond, she had already quickly left. Kang Woo also roughly understood why So-yeon wanted to break up with him. He went to see a therapist for advice, asked the therapist what to do if his girlfriend wanted to break up because he was too handsome and rich. These words made the therapist furious. After calming down, the therapist told Kang Woo that during this period, it was best not to meet So-yeon. He should give her time to calm down. If she really wanted to break up, there would be nothing he could do to stop it. Only when she thought things through herself would she have an answer. Kang Woo then followed the therapist's advice. When he returned to the villa, he began to eat uncontrollably. Not only was the table full of high-calorie foods, but even when going to the bathroom, he was still chewing. He didn't even notice when the corner of his mouth cracked. At the same time, So-yeon also felt deep pain inside, thinking about how her parents died because of her. She felt like she had lost the courage to be happy again. Her two older brothers couldn't bear to see her in such pain. One of them tried to comfort her, encouraging her to move on and face a new life because that's what their parents would have wanted. The other went to find Kang Woo and told him what had happened on the day their parents died. After learning the truth, Kang Woo fell into a state of guilt. He thought it was all his fault. At that moment, So-yeon had already figured things out and went to his house to find him. Before he could say anything, she confessed her feelings to him. This made Kang Woo unable to hold back and he kissed So-yeon again. But afterward, thinking it over, he felt everything was his fault, so he agreed to the breakup she had previously proposed. He felt he had no face left to see her again, so he returned to his home and slammed his bedroom door shut. No matter how hard So-yeon knocked, he refused to open it. Even though Kang Woo was so cold, since Se-yeon had already confirmed her own feelings, she wasn't going to give up easily. So for the next few days, she stayed outside Kang Woo's house, doing her best to make things right. After a few days of tireless effort, the two of them finally got back together. Kang Woo's mother also secretly investigated So-yeon and discovered that this girl had a very good personality and character, except that she was just a little foolish. So Kang Woo's mother no longer opposed their relationship. She even took the initiative to find So-yeon and bought her a set of clothes. So-yeon also received a call from Kang Woo's grandmother, inviting her to visit their house. Since Kang Woo's family had already accepted her, So-yeon felt she should go visit them. To present herself as the perfect girlfriend, So-yeon practiced walking in high heels and wearing formal clothes, even though she normally only wore sneakers as a PE teacher. Later, she dressed up in formal wear and officially visited Kang Woo's family with him. Seeing how So-yeon ate, Kang Woo's grandmother was very pleased, and Kang Woo, in his formal attire, kept looking at her shoes. He was worried she might be uncomfortable in high heels. He even asked about his mother's shoe size. After finding out that his mother and So-yeon had similar shoe sizes, he asked them to swap shoes. This left both his mother and So-yeon speechless, feeling that he didn't care about his mother at all. This deeply hurt his mother. At that moment, his grandmother, sitting nearby, kept complaining that her own son wasn't much better back then. Clearly, the entire family were romantics. And so, the story of Kang Woo and So-yeon came to a happy ending. The two of them continued to live a sweet and happy life. Perhaps having flaws as a human isn't scary. What matters is that someone knows you have flaws, but still chooses you. Anyway, that's probably the most important thing people need to find. Don't look for the most perfect person, look for the one who suits you best. And that is the complete story of this series. Thank you all for watching, goodbye, and see you again.